Okay, let's be honest for a minute. While we love the new modern trap rap and mumble rap, nothing beats the 90s hip-hop classics. Come on, don't lie. I know you feel the same way. And while many of the 90s hip-hop superstars are still relevant in 2020, some, well, let's just say, are nowhere to be found. So let's break down some of the most successful 90s hip-hop artists who have built amazing careers and those who are living behind their own shadows. Can you guess the famous rapper who has a Grammy, a Golden Globe, and an Oscar? Let's start this video on a good note and see some of our favorite hip-hop artists winning not only in their careers, but in life as well. Back before he was the successful businessman and owner of Beats Electronics, our favorite Dr. Dre was releasing hit singles left and right. I mean, where do we even begin? From No Diggity to Nothing But a G Thing, Dr. Dre dominated the 90s hip-hop scene. The world-famous music producer and rapper has collaborated with some of the most iconic faces of hip-hop. Tupac, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, and Eminem all have had the honor of creating timeless hits with the musical genius. When it comes to his latest works and albums, Dr. Dre released his final album, Compton, in 2015. But don't worry, Dre is still keeping busy in 2020. From being a successful CEO, record executive, and actor, it's safe to say Dr. Dre isn't going anywhere soon. When it comes to successful 90s hip-hop artists turned modern-day actors, not many can come close to the legend Ice Cube. Many Gen Zs may not know that their favorite Straight Outta Compton star was actually pretty big in the hip-hop world. Ice Cube was such a big part of the rap world, he was the one who inspired gangster rap's outbreak in the mid-1980s. A quick little history lesson for you all. From It Was a Good Day to Friday, it's almost impossible to envision a 90s party and not have Ice Cube playing in the background. When it comes to the modern day, Ice Cube has made waves in Hollywood as a capable actor and an even more talented filmmaker. While we love Ice Cube and all the huge Hollywood blockbusters he has starred in, we can all admit no one holds a candle to the Academy Award winner Common. I mean, after all, he has an Oscar and a Golden Globe. But before Common was walking down Hollywood red carpet events, he was known as the conscious Chicago rapper. Common has been in the hip-hop game for over 25 years and has released 10 albums in total. From his clever wordplay and quick-witted lyrics to jaw-dropping movie performances, Common definitely deserves the title of Hollywood A-lister. Sometimes we get the feeling Snoop is still stuck in the 90s. From his fashion choices to his love of bling, Snoop Dogg is definitely a 90s hip-hop staple. Can you remember hanging out at a party and not hearing Gin and Juice and What's My Name? And okay, maybe Snoop Doggy Dogg was more popular in the early 2000s, but he still is considered to be 90s royalty. So what is Snoop up to these days? In 2019, he released his 17th studio album titled I Wanna Thank Me. And the rapper has even gone into the world of television and movies. Who knew so many talented rappers would one day become incredible actors? While there can only be one Beyonce, there is someone who is pretty close to our Queen Bee. Jay-Z is undeniably one of the most successful 90s hip-hop figures in history. The billionaire is not only an internationally adored and respected rapper and musician, but he is also a businessman and owner of the music streaming service Tidal. And yes, while the Beehive might say his greatest accomplishment was marrying Queen Beyonce, Jay has been an important figure in the hip-hop genre ever since the late 90s. After all, he has 22 Grammys and has sold over 75 million singles worldwide. I don't know about you, but that's what I call success. From Grammy nominations and platinum-selling albums to being a co-host on a pop culture commentary show, this is the story of Brat. Once called the female Snoop Dogg, Brat gained huge success in the early 90s. Her first album, Functified, even went on to be a top chart hitter, and Brat became the first ever female solo rapper to sell 1 million copies. It is very strange to see Brat not dominating the modern hip-hop charts, but instead starring in small productions, co-hosting celebrity talk show Dish Nation, and being a reality TV star. Trust me, I'm more upset than you to see the legend Lauryn Hill on this side of success. The Fugees member and 90s icon was thought to be a revolutionary artist at the time. Her debut solo album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, is an 8-time platinum certified masterpiece of a record, which is considered to be one of the best of all time. But sadly, the future wasn't so kind to Miss Hill. After getting in trouble with the law and disappearing from the spotlight for a few years, Lauryn lost the spark she once held so close. Now the modern day age may not even know who Lauryn Hill was during her prime. If you weren't born before the 1990s, chances are you have no idea who the hip-hop duo Black Sheep is. It's okay, it's not your fault. The New York natives became one of the most famous and adored faces of the early 90s. Black Sheep dominated the charts with their debut album A Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, and the duo was constantly praised for their unique rhyming skills and quick-witted rap. But somewhere along the road of success, the duo broke up. Andres and William tried to reband in the early 2000s, but I guess their 15 minutes of fame had come and gone with the 1990s. While most 90s hip-hop figures became legends with their signature rap styles and hard-hitting rhymes, Digital Underground thrived on being a more funk-inspired group. Remember the Humpty Dance? Forget about the hilarious dance hit. Their singles would often be found on the top of Billboard charts, and the group was constantly on the road selling out arena after arena. But just like the rest of the forgotten 90s artists, Digital Underground eventually lost their funk. The band broke up in 2008 after almost 20 years of non-stop touring. It's sad to know kids these days will probably never experience Digital Underground like we did back in the 90s. Once named one of the greatest rap groups of all time, Nubian is now bygone in the modern day. From chart-topping singles like Wake Up and 360 Degrees, Grand Poobah, Sadat X, and Lord Jamar were looking at a lifelong career in the hip-hop scene. But Nubian had a rather complicated history people had trouble following. From the band breaking up and the members becoming solo artists to finally reuniting and breaking up again, Nubian just simply could not uphold their musical reputation. We hope you enjoyed this jaunt down memory lane, looking back at some of the most successful and forgotten 90s hip-hop artists. Of course, let us know what you think in the comments below. For HipHollywood.com, I'm Jasmine Simpkins.